Hi, I'm doing the case study of Homogeneous B Greek Orthodox Community of SAINC 2002-209 CLR 95. This is an analysis. The summary of the fact is Archbishop Sidon Homogeneous was invited by Greek Orthodox community of South Australia. It's an incorporated association which is responsible for organizing cultural, social, sporting and religious activities. To serve as he was invited to serve as a head of Greek Orthodox Church in Australia. He accepted the offer and served as Archbishop for over 23 periods of years. Throughout his tenure, he received a salary from the community as well as tax was deducted and was subject to their decision and control in his duty. Upon his retirement, Archbishop Homogeneous sought payment for accumulated annual and long service leave, citing that he had been employed under a legal blinding contract. The community denied this claim, arguing that there was no intention to create a legal relations, as the arrangement was of a religious and spiritual nature. Initially, the industrial relations court ruled in favor of Archbishop. However, the full court of the Supreme Court of South Australia overturned this decision, concluding that there was no intention to create legal relations between the parties. Subsequently, the case was appealed to the High Court of the Australia. So the High Court of the Australia, the central legal issue was whether there was an intentional to create legal relationship between Archbishop and the Greek Orthodox community. The High Court emphasized that determining such intention requires an objective assignment of all relevant circumstances rather than relying on presumption based on the nature of the relations. The court criticized the use of presumptions such as assuming that agreement involved religious figures are not legally binding. Instead, it had that each case must be evaluated on its specific fact to assure that the parties' intentions. In this case, factors such as formal recruitment process, the payment of a salary with tax deduction, and the community control over Archbishop Homogeneous duty indicate an intent to create legal relations. The High Court conclude that the agreement between Archbishop and the Greek Orthodox community was intended to legally blinding, entitling him to the claim of leave payments. So personally, Uh, I agree with the High Court decision in this case. Relying on read presumption based on the nature of relationships can lead to unjust outcomes, especially when the factual circumstances indicate a clear intent to create a legal relations. In this scenario, Archbishop was recruited through a formal process, receiving a salary with tax deduction, and was subject to the community control in his role. This factor aligned with typical employment agreement, suggesting the both party intend to enter into a legal blinding contract. The High Court emphasized on objective assignments of all relevant circumstances, promotes fairness, and ensure that individuals engage in role within religious organizations and afforded the same legal protection as those in secular employment.